Hello everybody, Fearmy Games is the next part of the Total War Rome to TI Cimmeria campaign. I apologize for there not being 2 weeks worth of videos. I've been moving in. I also actually got COVID, that one mostly made me feel tired, low energy. I did have a fever for a couple days, but otherwise I was just fine. Then on top of that, I also started moving, so it's like I could not find the time to record a video until this weekend. But now things are settling down. So I recorded the Battletech video earlier. Now I'm recording this one. I spent like 30 minutes to an hour trying to get my computer set up working. For some reason, everything's plugged in properly. If for some reason my two computer setups is not working out, so right now I'm recording with just my main computer. So hopefully there are no issues with that. So far the GPU is holding strong. We'll see if that continues. So if there's any like tearing or anything like that during battle, then we'll kind of have to see how it pans out. It didn't have any issues during Battletech, but Battletech's not the biggest rendering thing in the world, especially because it's just a skirmish battle. So we will see how things pan out in the future. So looks like we're just gonna at a point where we can enter. I was looking around, seeing what the situation is. We're not at war with Egypt. Egypt borders us, but we're not at war with them. They might not be happy with the fact that we did take territory that was taken by Rome, but we didn't want Rome on our border anyway, so. Yeah, and if Egypt becomes a problem, then we just slap around Egypt if we have to. Rome, though, is our real threat. Rome. We have barbarians to the northwest of us. We have Rome to the west. And also, I'm wondering if my army can actually cross this way. The reason why I'm wondering that is because there is this fleet here. And I wonder if that there's like a sphere of control where it might stop me crossing into this area. I'm kind of curious, but we'll have to find that out next turn. Where are you going? Oh yeah, you're the guy who's going east. Yeah, let's kind of look around the situation. It's kind of interesting, Pergamon's basically been kind of destroyed in terms of how its military power and economic power. Since before it controlled basically most of Asia Minor, it had one or two full provinces and a part of another one, I think. And now it's just 2 cities. Oh my god! That's 2 full stacks right there. That's not where I was hoping you would retreat, but honestly, might work out for us. We'll find out. It is quite strange, the AI priorities in terms of where they go. Yeah, Anthea's a bit of a situation just due to the fact that there's 2 or 3 armies there, but it looks like because they're not attacking me. The Roma Impersonators are perfectly positioned to assist our army in Anthea to keep the remaining Romans out. We'll just need to come up with a plan for dealing with 2 Macedon full stacks in the area. I don't know how they're maintaining that considering they only have 1 city left, Pulpudeva. Oh well. Looks like Asgarta has an army moving in to assist me, so we'll see how that pans out. Come on. Here we go. Child is born. Banditry in Syria. Unrest. I'm actually surprised with the banditry problem in Syria. So the fact that it's my main, military hub. What's even causing banditry in this region? I guess the large military colony, for some reason, increases the amount of banditry in the province instead of reducing it. I think that kind of makes 0 sense, but who am I to know? Yeah, it looks like I have a lot more banditry reduction abilities than I do banditry. It looks like it's mostly just the regions. I don't even know what that means. It looks like we have something that requires attention. Who are you? The servant from the house of a rival family has been discussing their secrets in the market. She may have valuable information that we could use to discredit our rivals. So we could bribe her, kidnap her, or do nothing. Bribe her. Politics. Looks like nobody has absolutely 0 loyalty. But we definitely don't have the highest amount of loyalty right now. No risk of a succession right now. Though we need to try and keep an eye on this one. We definitely want to try moving more in this direction if we can. I don't understand why the region has high banditry. It's a bit strange. Why also am I like making no money from some of my provinces here? Like you're taxed. So why am I like? Why is it saying like this is money, right? This is the money I'm making, right? I don't know what to say about that, but strange. Let me see. So can I see like banditry levels? So this is my main area. This is territory still held by the royal family. Apparently, though, these guys have actually greatly the Fenugreek nobility have greatly expanded their influence. They now control the entirety of the northeastern part of our empire, and the majority of the eastern part. We only really control the southern part here, and the new northern parts we've recently conquered. Well, these guys control our ancient homeland, where we once had our capital and where we started out, as well as like in the east. The Caucasus are being held, have one party affiliation, and then there's this narrow strip here with other parties, regions, which is interesting because I think this is the area where most of our trade is right here. I think this is our imports, or is that our exports and that's our imports, or vice versa? I don't remember. But that is very strange. Region wealth. Looks like most of our regions have extremely low wealth, except for Mesopotamia and a bit of Parthia here. Everyone else is pretty low on the wealth department. Probably because of all the food production buildings, I'm guessing. I haven't really been focusing on wealth, but the amount of wealth here is definitely on the low end here, in general. Region growth. Black means 0. We have, wait. This is growth rate 100, and this one's 0%, but they have the same range? Why? That doesn't make much sense. That's strange. That is strange. Faction ownership, naturally, that's pretty standard. So I wonder why there's so many unhappy people. I mean, not so many people, but why the regions are causing us problems. See, healer here. I would like food here, or maybe a granary. I don't mind having a Temple of Artemis here just to build it up a bit more, but for now, I want to see if there's anything else I can build. Maybe in the regions over here. I could increase this building up to a farming colony. Let's do that. Yeah, Macedon has 2 large armies here, so I'm going to fall back to side. Just to use it as a defensive position. I think this army is really confident about its own strength. I think a bit more than it should be. The Roma Impersonators are going to be able to reinforce Anthea now. The only weakness of having this army here is the fact that it does mean that we won't be defending inside the settlement, but it will mean that we do outnumber the enemies, so there is that. And it does look like that those guys do not stop us from advancing onward. This army is going to be sent north and west to try and take Petrodava from the enemy here. That way we have at least one army taking on those barbarians, while the rest of our forces focus on the main threat. Looks like you got an upgrade of the churn order, which means we're going to try and see what we can get here. Fruit and growth, that's always nice. I went for the increase, the reduction of rain. I went for the option to reduce the upkeep of units in the region, because so this one's deployed here, which means that it'll help reduce the army here that I'm using to basically garrison this territory and make sure nobody's up to any funny business, at least in the short term. Odysseus' Wanderers is almost in the region as well. We can't really afford another army. I really would love to be able to afford another navy. But as things stand... saying negative public order, but it just improve the public order by deploying these guys here. So I don't really know what they're talking about. Oh, start the next. Okay, guess I'll just put it right there then. Eventually, I want to make the navy strong enough to be able to take the seas as we are Greeks. Okay, well, it looks like this has mostly been a turn of, getting things ready and organized. Not really battle yet, but there are enemy armies on the way, so hopefully we can get that resolved. The Phanagorian nobility are definitely a political threat, but thankfully they're doing a decent job of staying loyal to us. So the enemy's attacking, and the game definitely thinks we have the advantage, and I agree, we definitely have the advantage. Here, the Roma Impersonators, along with these guys in the Wings of Pegasus, both two very high-end armies, ready to take out these legions of Rome. They got some Precapes, they got Legionnaires, they got Veteran Legionnaires, they got Corvus Prima, but they don't really have a lot of ranged units. So I think we're definitely going to win this, especially with this army coming into support. Alright, let's fight this battle out. It probably might have been better to say do not control large army. I made a mistake there by not disabling that. Okay. We're good to go. I wonder what those guys like auxiliary units, but I wonder where they're from. They look kind of cool, even if they're probably not all that strong. And the one computer setup, the one where I'm worried it's going to struggle the most, is probably going to be in a battle like this. It's this big, where it's big empire versus big empire army versus big empire army. Since this is where the GPU, the graphics cards are going to start probably hitting its limits. Is there a better terrain spot that you know? This is the only high ground we kind of have to make it even. You can tell the original unit of that this is the Royal Thorax Swordsman, because that's what they love to tell me. Yes, the Royal Thorax Swordsman, every time I select them. Was there any additional ones, or is that all of them? That's all of them, okay. Oh no, there's one more. One more right here. I'll move him here. And let's start getting the spearmen positioned properly into this formation that we have here. Go. Now we get our ranged units ready to go. And we'll have our baggage train in the back. We'll have our horsemen on either side to basically just try and dissuade the enemy from getting involved. Going to lock this formation. Guard mode, I'm going to shift it over a little bit. I think they'll be a bit better over here. Baggage train right there. Where's my reinforcements going to come from? Over there? That's where my reinforcements are coming from? That's a really bad spot. Well, we'll see how that ends up panning out. Where's the enemy reinforcements coming from? Because I kind of want to... So I see our reinforcements over there, but if I... Okay. This is not a bad spot, is right here. So let's try getting that moved into position. While our reinforcements start making their way in. I think the enemy is going to try consolidating their forces before they attack. I think this army will be capable of holding the enemy long enough for the reinforcements to arrive. And at that point, we'll win the battle, even if it means we do struggle and lose an army. Like right there. This is me basically trying to get my armies to where I want them to go. Oops. Minus you, General. Okay. How's it looking over here? What's the situation? Okay, the enemy is starting to engage us now. Looks like we did have an opportunity to fire off all of our jabbies, though, which is nice. The enemy's kind of not directly engaging us, which is somewhat to our benefit due to the simple fact that we have the advantage in range units, which means that the longer they take to get engaged, the better it is for us. Yeah, that's even caused one of the enemy units to break already. Why is our slinger almost in melee? That's strange. That's very strange. Alright, let's start getting involved over here. I think I want to bring my cav somewhere here. Again, enemy cav. Like, there's so many swordsmen I have, but then the spearmen decide, the enemy horses decide that the best place to go is where my spearmen are, which is good for me, but still a little bit on the strange side. I'm going to move this guy right there, move that guy right there. And they're definitely going to push on the flanks more than the front. It looks like. Guys over to reinforce. My big advantage now is the fact that I have a severe cav advantage over the enemy. Where's my commander? Oh, he's over here. He's being somewhat attacked by the enemy. Barely though. It's a very light amount of enemies actually. But it looks like a decent amount of the enemy cav are getting involved in our archers, which is going to severely weaken that advantage that we have over the enemy. Let me see how much I can get involved in this fight. Yeah, that unit's going to win there. These guys are getting kind of attacked from enemy javies before they get involved. That's okay. The enemy general's going to be defeated there. Keep going at them, boys. Oh, they shatter. Perfect. Let's get these guys over here. Testing stand. Your best target's right there. Your best targets are honestly right there. Or right there, obviously. You guys are going to go right there. These spearmen I'm going to use to try and hold off the enemy there. The veteran legionnaires. I'd like my general to get involved in that little melee kerfuffle. Especially if we can get rid of the enemy general, that'd be extra nice. A nice charge there. The enemy legionnaires are there. We're just going to charge them, pull away. Yeah, just do the usual business. Right there, you can actually fire to their flanks. This is the way that they're designed right now. I want you to basically get involved in that little fight and basically just wipe the floor with the enemy. You get rid of their only archer unit. Information room here. Regrouping real fast. The men are wavering, not too surprising considering they're being quite swarmed right now as things stand. One unit of legionnaires is getting wiped out slowly but surely, It's not immediate. My step archers are out of ammunition, so I'm gonna have to start investing them into the melee now to try and hold up the defenses while the rest of our army kind of starts marching on in. Our Cavs doing a really good job. Got a very nice rear charge in the enemy here. We're going to pull them back out so they can cycle charge the enemy. Our one army that's been having to fight the enemy on their own is now getting reinforcements, which is very important for them. I get these guys over here actually. Another unit has popped into the battle because I lost another one. We're holding the line so far. The left flank's about to collapse. We're gonna win the right flank just because of the fact that we do have this severe cav advantage. But the center is starting to collapse. Or at least try to get as much advantage left out of the left flank as I can. Unfortunate fact that so much of our enemies of our lines are just being surrounded and attacked now because the enemy's armies were a lot closer than ours were. Alright, start getting involved in the fight, boys. Start getting involved in that fight. You pull back for another recycle charge. What's going on here? Let me try getting the general out of that fight. Alright, got some good rear charges there. That Cav got a good charge into the backs of those guys. Create a new battle line right there. Fall back, boys. You guys, create a new battle line right here. This is what I'm trying to do is I'm using the new mat units to try and form a new battle line to basically try and win the battle now. And the pure chaotic nature of this battle, my general just got chased down actually when I wasn't looking. I need to get my Cav out of this fight and over there. Go get them, boys. Finish those guys off for me. You guys over here. My step lancers got a good rear charge off on those guys. I think it broke one of them. I think there's only one left now as a result. So you guys into their backs, you guys get into their flanks, you guys go over here. Alright, now we're starting to get the rest of our reinforcements involved here. Come on boys, help them out. Get you involved in that fight there. You guys just do your best to keep up the fight. Who are you? You guys, oh, you're my other general. Over here. Okay, come on, boys. Nice charge there. And this charge, they finished breaking off these guys. They're only broken, so I'm going to wait a moment before I fully engage the enemy. Line these three up here real fast. Our general has fallen. I'm assuming it's this general over here, which is not good for morale purposes. And hopefully he wasn't anybody politically important, because that could have political ramifications as well. You aren't fighting or doing anything. What are you? You. Over here. Best place for you to get involved is anywhere where you get their backs. Okay, so this is we actually got a decent line formed here now. The enemy is no longer surrounding our units to surround and pound them. Now they're just attacking them. Okay, let's keep moving, boys. Find a gap in our lines, and I'm going to put you there. Right there. Come on, my Thracian boys. Have you guys walk there. You guys, meanwhile, I need you guys to assist this guy in his fight. Come on, boys, get around them. You guys are probably going to actually be best. Probably right here still. More units coming up. Let's bring them in. The battle is turning in our favor. All three of you guys just keep focusing on that guy. You. Fall back. Big chaotic melee here. We're starting to break the enemy now. Broken. Release some of those jabbies in the enemy. Show them the error of their ways. Come on, boys. Come on. Good jabby throws. I love it. I love it. Finish them off with that charge, please. Thank you. Come over here and blow them up. You get involved in that. Oh, you need to get involved over here, actually. This line is actually breaking. Companion cavalry needs to back away for a moment. You guys go over here. You guys need to get in that fight. You guys all over here. Now that you've won your section, you guys need to move over here now. Perfect Thracians now get into these guys' rears for a nice charge into their backs. That's going to do a nice amount of damage, especially if it's not the main target of the enemy. What are you guys? You guys are actually phalanx guys who are ready for a potential rear charge, so that's good to know. We actually still have some of our Roma Impersonator infantry left. There's definitely some heavy casualties in this battle, I can tell you that much at least. Yeah, that charge by those thorax swords, by those Thracian warriors were quite effective. Let me get this dead general and let him chase down that unit of cores, Prima, to try and wipe him out. And Iga! And now the enemy's completely surrounded. nice little return. They're letting my cav honestly rest at this point is kind of a very nice thing to be able to do. While I basically just get the rest of them pushed in with my infantry to finish them off. Alright, what we're just going to do is we're going to use this time to just clean up a lot of the enemies who are able to break away and run. I'm going to stop all remaining archery units from attacking with their bows, so that way they don't accidentally kill our own men in the process. Alright, let me speed it up real fast. Victory is ours, but at what cost? What I thought I turned your firewall off. I guess it wasn't for you guys. And there's still some pretty healthy enemy groups here that would be kind of nice to get rid of. Oh, you guys are heavy spearmen. You're not cav. You guys can chase down still. Oof, I'm glad that we were able to win this little battle here. Allowed us to take on 2 of the enemy armies and wipe them out. And we only lost probably the equivalent of 1 army. I'm not sure how much of the Roman Impersonators were able to flee or how much they were, they died, how much they got killed for. Guess we'll find out. Alright, got our cavalry smashing into these guys. I think these guys are probably the last group I bother chasing down. And I think a decent amount of the reinforcements that I got in were actually garrisoned, which means I think our last army was relatively untouched. The Roman Impersonators got pretty beat up in that battle. They did a good job. Unfortunately for them, their general is dead. The archers got a lot of kills. The spearmen got a decent amount of kills. But yeah, their main job was trying to hold on to the enemy, weaken them as much as possible while the reinforcements arrived to finish them off. Fortunately, the reinforcements didn't arrive in time to really do much besides clean up. They fortunately weren't able to save the lines. They just got all except for this one and who was on the right flank where I was able to assist the most. They were just basically just forced to sit there and try not to die until reinforcements arrive. It's basically what the job was for them. Oh, slapped around the Romans. It's a good sign. Yeah, the Roma Impersonators will need a little bit of time to rest and recover. Though I'm not sure if Macedon will, or Macedon, depending on how you pronounce it, isn't going to let them have that rest. Already, I also have an army moving in too, so that's yet another full stack that we're going to have to deal with. Though, I'm kind of tempted to send that full stack that's coming in from the north for me to Puldeva, because if I can wipe that out and take it for myself, that would mean that there's no Macedon forces. Like, that would wipe out the Macedon forces, essentially. They'd start, attritioning and stuff, because they wouldn't have a settlement that would be supplying the army. Moldova is probably also a pretty big settlement, so that might make that a bit harder. The Roman Impersonator duty calls. So we have Toniac nobility, Phonograph nobility, Spartasaur dynasties. Let's go for Spinosaur. Let's see. You or you. I don't really know what the effects of you guys are. So he has, the commander has a higher trait tier. Child has died. An honorable death from the Spartacois V. Is that our faction leader? No, that's not his faction leader, but it was this adopted guy here. So we still have his children in the family line. One of our adopted generals is dead. So that means I don't think that will lead to any political effects, but it just means that he's now dead. Athenus. Yeah, he's currently at that. So this is Athenus. That guy's magnanimous, which is apparently why he has high upkeep for his other dudes. He's also apparently impoverished. Apparently he's a pretty good guy overall. He's a scrapper, brawler, so basically you can increase him through victories, ages, and little bodyguard casualties to kind of make it better. But if it gets worse, then he becomes worse. He's a deputy. So right now he's learning still the process. So basically if this guy's treated well, he could become actually a very strong general. Alright, but let's see the army situation over here now. So this full stack is almost here, the brave companions. The wings of Pegasus are pretty strong, however, it looks like disease. Is this disease? Yeah, they've actually ran out of supplies. They're starvation. Okay. Why would they be starving, though? Well, let's see. We're going to have to try to run away with these guys, get them out of the region. Maybe that might help a little bit. Yeah, the Roman presence has been wiped out, leaving just the Macedonian presence. I still don't know why these guys are... why we're slowly being starved for some reason. But I'm gonna send these guys west to try and avoid starvation while we wait. Hopefully getting these guys out of the region, they can start resting, replenishing, and getting a bit better about it. And then I'm going to, let's see, we're going to have to see what we're going to have to do there. But the enemy is on its way. Side, I'm being held as Garta has this very weak army. I don't really know what they're hoping to do with that army, but something to keep an eye on, I guess. We have this army here who's I'm gonna send this to Petrodava. Apparently these guys have a lot of Falksmen. That's pretty cool. I'm going to actually encircle because I actually want to fight this battle off, because this would be our first battle against Dacia. So it'd be kind of interesting just to see what their reaction is going to be and how like their militia plays out, even if it doesn't mean too much in the long run. And again, another high amounts of banditry. Yeah, everywhere just says 50 banditry is like their default now. What is that about? Colony there. So we finished this line of the rumination reforms. We haven't finished the fleet reforms, and I'm thinking of starting them. Though I wouldn't be against trying to like finish this up. Get increased damage for all siege units besieging. I should probably get this ammunition supply because that's minus 10 banditry for all provinces. Now that's pretty nice. This one's also pretty good for just getting money. Sanitation's pretty good. Might help a little bit. Let's see. This one is tax rate, public order, and empire maintenance. Constitutional consensual contracts is also very good. Political conversion, cultural conversion. So there's a lot of not bad options that we can pick. Let's go for the consensual contracts. Finish up this line and getting that increased public order and reduced empire maintenance and increased, looks like it'll increase loyalty and our influence. So it looks like it's a big win-win right there in terms of getting that. And now, unless the Iridii army pops up here, it's going to be a 1v1 versus the Wings of Pegasus and the rest of them. I don't know why this is considering that we're starving, considering that we own this region, we're in the region, and we have a baggage trade. I don't know why it's considered to be such a big deal, but it is considered a big deal apparently. Alright. So I think what we're going to do here, guys, I think this is where we're going to end the episode. I'm just going to press an end turn, and then I'm going to basically end the episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully the video quality is okay with me recording on one computer. I do see that for some reason during the entrance sequences, it is actually when the GPU is considered to be the highest amount of usage. I wonder if it's because of the fact that it's the entrance sequence just has so much work applied to it, but I don't know. Yeah, we got one nice big battle there. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to pan out, but I was happy to see that we did win, even if it does mean the Roma Impersonators are going to need to take a moment to rest and recover. It does look like we have more enemy armies incoming from the west, from Rome, but we do have another army there, so we can probably take them on. Part of me kind of wants to let Pergamon lose that settlement there, because I want that whole province. I don't want Pergamon having that settlement. I was very annoyed when they did take it. I'm surprised Rome actually won that. I mean, not Rome. Pergamon won that naval battle, against all things considered. The Iridiai, like, 20 stack came up against that 10 stack, and the 10 stack won. My only guess is that maybe the garrison in Odessos was actually surprisingly high. Cambogians have an army right there. We have slums in Tyros, because apparently I forgot to actually build the thing that's supposed to go right here. Oops. Anyways, we'll get back to this particular section next episode. If you guys liked the video, smack that like button, subscribe to see more of my content, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.